What's going on, Cancer? And welcome to the Chariot Friends. Justin here, and I hope you're feeling fantastic today. Intuitive Cancer. So for that, well, I hope for that everyday Cancer. But for those of you who are returning, welcome back, Soul Tribe. I appreciate your subscriptions, your likes, and shares. Your support really is just the greatest, Cancer, and it keeps us growing. And for those of you who are new, welcome. I'm happy Higher Self has brought you here. We're in for an amazing journey. Now, the purpose of this channel, for those of you who have Cancer in your placement, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, Mars, wherever Cancer, this one's for you. And I do tarot cards, but it's based upon ruler here, the good old Moon. And I'll talk about what sign she's in, what phase she's in, when she's going to avoid, of course, just all of those lunar shenanigans. And just so you're all aware, this is a general reading, not a one-to-one, so take what resonates with you. Leave the rest with me. Never force a reading on a situation, and everything will be dope, Cancer. Now, let's jump into it. Alrighty, Cancer. Your space has been cleansed. Crystals, feeling lovely. Oh, actually, bam. Just great energy all around here, Cancer. Oh, and hold on, Cancer. One moment. See how prepared I am. And Cancer, happy Mercury Day. It is Wednesday. Mercury is associated with Wednesdays. It's a great day for maybe doing some studying there, Cancer. Maybe this could be great for even getting caught up on some reading. This could be great for even just doing some stuff. Maybe you're building computers, Cancer. You know, I see you, tech genius. Maybe you're just doing some building some apps. Maybe you're just tinkering around on the internet anyway. You know, Mercury Day could be really great energy for that, but Mercury energy is a bit tricky sometimes there, Cancer. So be mindful of any sort of like glitches or anything along those lines. You know, just a little something to be, especially if you've been feeling like the energy's been a little off. Just be mindful of that. And I feel Mercury too is a reminder that our thoughts are very powerful, Cancer. Just as like how moon days, the emotions can set the day. I feel Mercury days, the thoughts can really kind of set the day and how you see things and go about your day, you know, go about the day. So something to be very mindful of there, Cancer. And I feel like coupling that too with where the energy is at, that's very important, because we have a waning gibbous energy that's in, or phase that's in Scorpio, Cancer. And this is a very interesting one, what I'm getting with this energy. I was kind of meditating a lot on this one, because the fascinating thing is when the moon first enters into Scorpio, she's talking with both of the dispositors of this sign, you know, of both Scorpio's rulers, Pluto, or guardians, Pluto and Mars. Mars is in Pisces now, and depending on when you're watching this, and then Pluto is in Aquarius, depending on when you're watching this. And so she's squaring Pluto, but trining Mars. So there's this interesting conversation where I feel it's like there's something that you may want to, for some, I feel like it may be something that you're wanting to maybe do, something that you do feel real strongly about, that you like, oh yeah, I want this thing, I'll do what it takes. But then there's something with the Pluto energy that when it's just like, have we thought about what that really means in a sense? Interesting. Hold on, Cancer. Thank you, herself. Talk about that in a moment. But it's like there's something here about, you know, because when you think about Scorpio energy, this is the Scorpio energy is one that is not afraid of facing any sort of feelings, you know, whatever that looks like. And that's where I feel like the intensity from Scorpio comes from, because there is this realization that we're not promised tomorrow, you know, and to have such strong guardians like Mars is like that emotional reaction, of emotions in action. Is that Scorpio energy, and then Pluto being the modern guardian of Scorpio. There's this, again, there is this transformative energy, but I feel like this waning gibbous is asking you, are we really ready to face all of the fears that come with the things that we want to do, Cancer? And where are some places where we've been maybe, suppressing some emotions, whether this is the fear of maybe failure at a project, or maybe the fear of rejection for maybe asking for someone for a relationship, the fear of loss, this, whatever this is. I feel like there's a lot of introspective work that comes. And of course, when it comes with Scorpio, theirs is digging to the depths to find the solution to something. But I do want to, be mindful too with Scorpio energy, because when you work with that fixed water energy, I feel that sometimes when you start to, to find in Scorpio's quest to find the absolute truth to things, I feel it can get into a place almost where it's like, I'm getting like a nihilistic energy, or even like an apathetic type of energy, because I feel like, because I'm a part of the Pluto and Scorpio generation, and I have my Pluto's in the fourth house, so that's kind of like the moon in Scorpio, sort of, and there is a lot of intense emotions that comes with that, and a lot of introspective work. And sometimes I feel when you do get lost in that at the depths of that ocean there, Cancer, it can be to where it's like, yeah, what's the, it's a weird, it's an interesting energy, I feel like, that we're kind of getting in here. But I do feel like there is a lot of reflection that's going on. What are some things maybe we've been kind of, again, where we've been kind of holding back and wanting to kind of do more of what you desire there, Cancer? Because, the Cancer energy is here to learn through feeling, through learning to love this experience, even in all the chaos and all the nuances, and feeling as much as it does, as we do, Cancer. And I feel that even though there are, some things that we may be afraid of, or that whatever this may be, that is kind of, because when you think with Pluto and Scorpio as well, there's this power aspect. When we feel that, I don't know, here, Cancer, there's something about reclaiming this sense of power, as far as like who you are and what you can pursue, and maybe even, and that might even be something that might be happening, Cancer. You may have this sort of broad idea, but we're having troubles, and it may sound a lot harder than it actually is, and Mars is letting you know that you do have this energetic support. It's very fascinating. So this is a one, I feel, kind of sit with yourself there, Cancer. Understand what what you're capable of, and how that's going to change you in a way. Like there's a lot of growth, I feel, because this is forming a very harmonious aspect with your Cancer placements, when we're dealing with this Scorpio, whenever we're in the moon's in water energy, even in Scorpio, where the moon technically is in fall in Scorpio. Its energy is a little bit weaker, but a lot of growth can come from that Cancer. But yeah, I hope that made sense. That's what I got for that energy for you, Cancer. But, and if you're curious about how this energy is working in your chart there, Cancer, book a reading with me. I have links down in the description box with all the services that I provide. And it can be very fascinating. Like I was saying, I have Pluto in Scorpio in the fourth house. So when the moon's in Scorpio, she's going through my fourth house, which now the moon's at home when the moon's in Scorpio, it is a very, I do enjoy when the moon is in Scorpio. It does give me a time to, yeah, just kind of be, just sort of and be, and kind of like there's this, and every time I experience Scorpio energy, I almost picture like, how heat waves kind of rise off a car on a hot day, Cancer. That's always what I feel when I see or feel someone with a lot of Scorpio energy. But yeah, but see how you feel when you get in that intuitive energy, Cancer, what depths that takes you to, understand that a bit more, and yeah, we can talk about that, or how the planets may be transiting through your houses there, Cancer, what aspects may be forming with your sign. It's very fascinating when you get to learn about that stuff there, Cancer. But I think that's all I got for you there. So last few things. These readings that I do, they're not gender specific readings. So apply these energies to people as they make sense for your situations. And then the decks that I'm working with, I've included links to them down in the description box below. So definitely check that out if you're interested. But also down below are some links for some other readers that I enjoy, Cancer. So definitely check them out. They're a fantastic group. I think you'd enjoy them. There are some links for an astrologer, a couple podcasts I've been jamming out to, some websites that I find very useful there, Cancer, for astrology and things, some apps and all types of goodies on there, Cancer. So definitely check that stuff out when you get a moment. But let's go ahead and get into your general energy of the day here, Cancer, which I like this because you got the dragonfly spirit here, Cancer. And this is a card of Truth Transcends Illusion. And you know, Scorpio is one that is, again, they are like the detectives of the zodiac. They're looking for the truth. And I feel that this energy here invites you to look at what illusions maybe you have been kind of casting on yourself. You know, as far as it gives me very kind of like the moon card energy, and seeing where we may have been building up these possible fears here, which, you know, these fears may be legitimate, Cancer, but, you know, there's something here, and of course, like, as it makes sense, you know, of gaining power over those fears, you know, and seeing and understanding the truth behind this fear, and what are some steps that maybe we can take towards this, for transcending this illusion in a way. You know, maybe you thought you couldn't go to back to school possibly, or maybe you thought you couldn't become a parent, or maybe you thought that you couldn't be in a healthy relationship, or whatever this is. And it's like there's a Queen of Swords energy, like this clarity that's coming through here, Cancer. But I do feel that there is, you know, this is part of like what the full moon is. You know, with the full moon, we see something in accomplishing something. We've learned something about ourselves. Like we've risen to an occasion and seen something to a completion. But then there's this realization of, oh, well, if I could achieve this, then there's this other thing. Now there's this next task. You know, and we celebrate that win, of course, but then we do start thinking about when we get towards the waning end of, okay, well, now what can I do to let this thing go next? And sometimes that does get intense. That does get where it's a lot of emotions, where you can get kind of drawn in that. And so you do want to be mindful of this stuff, Cancer. But I do feel that water energy is one that, where, yeah, it can be a lot sometimes to feel, whether you have a little bit, and especially if you have a lot of water. It's one thing to be very subjective and to be, you know, but you have to, there's an objectivity that needs to happen as well. I'm kind of feeling with this, and really kind of discerning this, you know, what is real, what is actually happening here, as opposed to, you know, what are some things we may be telling, where we may be restricting ourselves in a sense there, Cancer. But let me get some tarot on this and get some details. All right, Cancer. Take care of yourself. See what's going on here. Interesting. So, very interesting, Cancer. So you have the lovely Empress here, Venus, the Magician, Mercury, the Lovers, Gemini, and the Queen of Stars in upright. And then you have the King of Moons, the Eight of Moons, and then the Devil in reverse here, Cancer. And, you know, I like this Devil in reverse because this is you that's exactly what the Devil is, transcending illusions. And seeing where, you know, just again, when we're thinking about Pluto, we're thinking about this power, where we're giving our manifestation over to, where we may have been limiting ourselves, limiting our choices, even with the lovers, where I get where there are circumstances where we don't have many choices and we're just kind of playing with the cards we're dealt, Cancer. But believe me, I do. I get that. But there is a way, I feel, with the Queen of Stars, that when we start showing up a bit, being more intentional, and starting to, because, the Eight of Moons, there's something that we're hung up, I feel, that maybe that might be kind of hung up on here, Cancer, that may have trouble kind of letting go. This may be a certain thought pattern. Maybe there's this feeling that's attached to this. There's certain experience here, but I feel that it is affecting how abundant you truly are, Cancer. And wherever you may be on your journey, because we've all been in that low kind of, especially being in waters, having water energy, it's a lot sometimes dealing with emotion, especially when you think about how shunned, or shamed, being able to feel was. Now I remember listening to someone I was talking with not too long ago, and I was pleasantly surprised to hear this come out of, them to say this, but they were having an issue. There was something where their son was having some sort of issue, and they were talking about how sensitive their son is, and I was just like, and they was just like, right now his son thinks that that's a weakness, but really that's a strength. And I was just like, that just warmed my heart, and I was just like, I love that. I absolutely love that. And that's where, that might be something, Cancer, that might be part of that, that you're something, maybe you're transcending. King of Moons in reverse, that your emotions are something that has been an enemy. And when we reject them, and anything that we, especially when you think about Scorpio, when you're repressing something, that is probably one of the easiest ways for Scorpio to get into like a tower moment. It's just like, because Scorpio it's this energy again of needing to feel stuff, to not be afraid of, not, it's not being reckless, it's like living life, like understanding the choices that I've made are in alignment. Like, you don't got to think too hard about it. Does this make me feel good? And not in like a devil, again, not in a devil type of way, but more so in like I'm manifesting, I'm feeling abundant, things are on point, even in challenges, I'm feeling that, that's what I feel is kind of happening here, Cancer, or at least what this Scorpio energy is wanting you to maybe even, I feel like, get in the habit of like celebrating this part of the journey, that the release and the transformation, what we need to let go, can be almost, if not more so, cathartic than and then the actual, when you get to complete something, you see something to like you've accomplished something, because then I feel like it allows you to, instead of, and then I'll move on from this, Cancer, instead of, we can always get to this place where, Scorpio can deal with, things that we don't like to talk about, whether this be death, or this be sex, or this be the occult, or this be, whatever whatever the taboo thing is that makes the energies uncomfortable, but this energy here is, I had a great point, Cancer, and then it went away from me. It'll come back if it's important, Cancer. It was gonna be something great too, but that's all right, Cancer. It's probably time though. Let's get your next cards here. Oh, to appreciate the, thank you, yourself, to appreciate those tougher parts of the journey, where we need to make space, where because in order for the Empress to plant and create beauty, how's she going to do that when her field's full? Some things we need to take apart. We need to choose what we're going to continue to invest in. What are some things we're going to take out? What are some things that have served their purpose for a season? Those, it's kind of like gardening. Those flowers were cute for a spell. Now let's return that to the earth and let's use them as fuel to create something else. Magician energy here. There we go. Thank you, higher self. All right, but let's get into this next energy here, Cancer. Interesting. Very interesting, because speaking of Scorpio energy, you got the Six of Moons, which is the Sun in Scorpio, the Ace of Wands in reverse, and then you have the Five of Wands, the Eight of Wands, and then one of those special major arcana cards here, Cancer, which is the full moon. And that's very interesting, Cancer, that I feel like you've been getting that alternating between that full moon and new moon energy quite a bit with this deck. And, when I even went to pick out this deck, I hadn't, at the time, it really was just sort of an intuitive pull. I hadn't considered the fact that this deck has the full moon and new moon cards. And, I feel that, especially with this full moon here, again, there's something about the release. And I feel like it's celebrating that you've overcome a challenge with the Five of Wands being here. And you've gotten through a conflict, but in that conflict, I feel that you've learned, there are new messages here with the Eight of Wands it's like how when like in like a video game, for example, like you complete a mission, you get this, and then a new mission comes up because you acquired a certain skill. And now it's time to test the energies in a new type of way and get an experience that you've not gotten before here, Cancer. And the Six of Moons is, the Six of Moons can be this card of stuck in the past, and maybe for some there has been, maybe we've gotten comfortable in a certain energy. Maybe this devil moment here is just kind of popping out because it's like a reminder here of just like, hey, you've been here before, and this is not where, sure, it's a nice dopamine hit. And again, whatever that's translated, it doesn't have to be just, anything like intoxicants. This could be relationships. This could be whatever this is. But I do feel that that Eight of Wands wants the energy to move forward, that wants to embrace this Five of Wands energy. Again, to take time to celebrate, but to know that there's going to be a point where the body's going to be like, all right, it's time for, are you ready for this new challenge? And I feel like this Ace of Wands is almost like a heeding the call here. So again, it's always with the planets. I always feel like it's an invitation. You don't have to accept. But, it's fascinating, Cancer, with how you can sync with the energies. I've been actually looking through some of my past solar return charts, and I was kind of in sync with it's amazing how higher self will have your back, and when how things are meant to go, how they are, everything happens in divine timing. How it may translate could have been different, but I was able to look back and kind of reflect on, and that's why I feel, maybe the Six of Moons can even be, again, a card of this reflection on the past, where of a previous moment where you were in a devil situation. We had to make some tough choices there, some things that didn't feel good. King of Moons that we had, it may have been tough letting go, but we knew we had to let go. We were able to manifest some tools, get into some things, and now we're figuring out where this energy is taking you now, Cancer. So let's see what's going on here. Let's get some advice from Pluto and Mars. All right, Cancer. Ooh, all these lunar shenanigans. I'm with it. Take care of yourself. All right, last little bit here. So you have the Four of Wands, the Knight of Stars, the Three of Moons, the Nine of Moons, and the Moon card, all in reverse here. And the Moon card is Pisces energy there, Cancer. And let's switch back over because, Cancer, I feel there's something here with the Three of Moons that we are seeing, maybe for some you're seeing the truth in. This could be in a group maybe we used to hang around, or just something that just I feel used to be celebrated in, but it just like it no longer feel. I feel like that it's fueling the vibration. I feel the Knight of Stars. It's almost like this energy of you. It wasn't like planned to have been here in this space or in this cycle maybe as long as you had been. And now the Moon card is inviting you to journey out of this, rise up again. Because I feel like this is something that because even the Moon card is a seeing through the illusion. And even with the Devil here, it's something here, Cancer, that I feel that either we're even like the magician energy, which would be mindful of how powerful. I was talking about with that with Mercury Day, that maybe you may be creating something that either has, or this may be someone we're dealing with, that is creating something that they know isn't sustainable. Let's put it that way. It's not even that it's not real. It's just not sustainable to be in. There has to be a balance here. And I just feel that there's a need, especially with the Nine of Moons, to really just kind of check where the vibration's at, Cancer. And even if we have someone who's going through something like that, just being around that, Cancer. Just be mindful. And because that may be something where for some, I feel there's this energy. And this is coming from someone who's dealt with it and actively deals with it all the time. When it comes to, I feel like dealing with like escapisms and things along those lines, you have to determine how much capacity that you have, Cancer. It's not that we're giving up on anyone or anything along those lines, but you can only do so much. At some point, the person has to want to take action. We can't force anybody to do anything. All we can do is Pisces energy, show compassion, be there the way that we can, and it's not to say again we're not saying we're giving up if this is someone that we're dealing with, but I do feel like it is being mindful of your limitations there, Cancer. How much energy that you give into something like that. Make sure just to be mindful where you're at, that you're giving yourself space, and that you're communicating that, well, hey, I'm on your team, but I need a me day. I need an Empress day. I need a few Empress days. So that's just just a little random bit, if that resonates, but all right, Cancer, I think I'm gonna leave that there. But if that resonate with you, Cancer, if you like that, give it a thumbs up. And share this thing, Cancer, if you know someone who's been, just maybe having troubles getting stuck in, again, that kind of escapist energy, because Mars is in Pisces right now. We still have Neptune and Saturn, and so we may be, the energies, there's a lot of intuitive energy that's going on with, we're getting a lot of Aries, which is fueled by Mars. So it's fascinating. I feel where the pace is at right now and where the energies are at. So it is kind of stay aware there, Cancer, and subscribe there. You full moon, hit that bell button to get notified on all these videos each day. And then last couple of the few things there, Cancer. Yeah, if you're curious, and I promise I won't serve well, maybe like a little bit word salad during the personal readings. But if that's something that resonates with you, Cancer, book a reading with me. I have links down in the description box and in my LinkedIn, or not my LinkedIn, my Instagram as well there. And then after we get done checking your chart there, Cancer, maybe we find that you got a little Scorpio in there. You can come check out the Scorpio video on my other channel, Alchemist 8. I do weekly videos there that talk about the transits, more so for the soul tribe and how those energies may resonate with you. Then I do monthly videos that are more specifically towards each zodiac sign and how those energies may interact with those placements, those like specific placements. And then I have yearly ones that I do as well that are, I just changed the format. I did Aries not too long ago. That was I like the flow of that one a lot better. And it's a great old time, Cancer. And all that housekeeping is down in the description box below. But let me get your surprise cards here, Cancer, so I can get you out of here. I think you got like a lot of moons and a lot of wands, a lot of heat and a lot of water. But you got the 7 of moons here, Cancer, and Venus in Scorpio. And my prelude to a devil moment there, Cancer. And so, but I feel with this 7 of moons, Cancer, this I feel like is realizing that you may have more options than you realize with this card. Then when we transcend the illusion and see through something, then Queen of Stars, I feel, gets to work. Then our resourcefulness, our craftiness comes into play. We're able to really kind of start getting back in the groove. You know, get in this, start getting like, I feel like a game plan here with the Knight of Stars being here, get back in vibration with the 9 of Moons. But I do feel that there is something here that we are needing to see a bit more clearly here, Cancer. You know, something that, oh, interesting, Cancer. Hold on. Thank you, yourself. And it kind of correlates nicely with your Oracle card here because you have the Atlantis card. And this is a card of keep the big vision, stay in alignment as you grow. And so, yeah, remember that, Cancer. Keep the bigger vision where I do feel I feel with all of this is more so kind of what I'm feeling. I feel kind of with all of the distractions and things that can go on in this realm, Cancer, and how dense things are in this big old illusion, and it can be hard to keep track of the bigger vision, what you're here to accomplish. And I feel that that Scorpio energy I feel goes into those kind of dark places, the fear, the those like, are not afraid to feel those feelings just because it just keeps them in alignment. There's this reminder of how precious this journey is and how it's an invitation to live your big vision, walk in that. And it's like we may never completely get to that vision or what that looks like because there's always, I feel like, more ways that you can grow. But I feel like as long as you're staying in this alignment here, it's just like it's like getting out of all of the noise, and just like really following in your path. I've seen like the fog kind of clearing there, Cancer, but I feel this is the year I feel really to start getting in this alignment, find out what alignment means for you, even just understanding that. Because I feel that when, especially kind of like I've been feeling, it'll be Neptune and Saturn are going through Aries. That's going to be an interesting one for Cancer placements. So especially with Neptune's going to be a while. So it's going to be very thorough. Again, could be potentially a confusing type of energy, and sometimes, like trying to keep that vision, Cancer. So just something to keep in mind, as we're going on this journey. And that's great. We have a while for that. She won't officially enter until 2026, I want to say, but better just to kind of get some things on your radar. I feel like get ahead of the energies. That's what astrology is for. It's not to get you fearful. It's to get you in this place of, oh, there may be a point where, okay, like for example, Neptune, the first planet that she'll square is my sun placement at 15 degrees of Cancer. And so there may be a place where I'm not sure who I am. The question of who I am and how I feel about who I am is going to be up for in tension with one another. And it gets me thinking about that. Okay, who am I? Who do I want to be? How do I understand this being? I need to learn to feel a bit more to understand this being. There's some things that I'm gonna want to work on, but that, and it's in the and it's a time I feel too, Cancer, even as I'm saying that. And again, it's not medical advice or anything like that, but spiritual practices, making sure to take care of the body, getting enough rest, staying hydrated, things along those, just basics, Cancer. I feel like getting into that routine, I feel would be helpful for that. So, but yeah, you stay safe out there, Cancer. Keep eyes on the moon. Moon's always keep you safe there, Cancer. She's guiding us and guarding us, and helping us keep track of the big vision. And I will catch you, Cancer, on the next one tomorrow.